This is the 1 month overview reading for Cardano throughout the month of August 2022. It's currently July 8th, 2022, 5:05 p.m. The overall theme and behavior for the month of August is going to be a full move from the bottom of the range to the top of the range, starting out of a decline. It's crossed with a failed attempt to break through a key resistance that we expect to break through, followed by a decline through a key support level. Behavior around the high on a 1 month chart, it'll stand out a big move to the upside to reach the high. Behavior out of the low, it'll stand out on a 1 month chart, a bullish move out of the low, breaking through horizontal, moving along a diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance, and then meeting a secondary resistance before pulling back to somewhere between those two. On the first, we have a prominent trough or low. There's a notable decline from, it looks like we have a correlation to a failed attempt to break through a key resistance level, followed by a decline. So a sharp decline after failing to break through key resistance. There's a trade opportunity involving sideways rotation along a support level. And there's one local low. It may be the same as the trough. However, when I say local low, what I mean is that on a 1 day chart, for the first, you'll see a prominent low on the chart. So on the second, we have a flight to safety, so declining continues over. There is a crest in there. So likely we open higher and then drop, revisiting a past problem. On the third, there's a sharp dip within a period of volatility. On the fourth, we have a fake out, an intentional shakeout, fake out, triggering of a false indicator. Like it's the completion of a bullish trend. Like there's a completion to the bullish trend. We may have a higher or crest there, like fourth or fifth. However, I've been off with that indicator before, so it's possible. But on the fifth, we have a big move out of oversold territory, so that would indicate that the local high, we're doing some sideways rotation on the fourth. Local high forms when we take a sharp dip from some sideways rotation. And on the fifth, local high forms when even in the face of overwhelming headwinds, we still push higher. So likely we drop on the fifth, like maybe at the end of the day. Even I'd have to look at a 1 day chart reading to really get that detailed, but something to be careful of here. And there's a big move out of oversold territory, even in the face of those headwinds on the fifth. On the sixth, we have another another month's trough. Prominent trough or a month's low. There's one swing trade opportunity that takes place along a support while we're rotating sideways along support as well. Towards the end of the day, the sixth, there's resistance highlighted. There's a resistance level there that's highlighted, and then it's significant in some way on a 1 month chart. On the 7th, we have a fast sudden move higher. There's one local high there. The local high forms. There's a prominent reversal there on a 1 day chart. The local high will be a prominent reversal, stand out on a 1 day chart, and there's also a correlation to the strength card. So again, out of a decline, we push higher all the way from the bottom of the range to the top of the range. So you probably break through resistance early in the day and then move to the top of the range. This may be like there's a fake out near the high news, or a fake out of some kind near the high on the 7th. On the 8th, we have either two swing trade opportunities or a day trade opportunity. There'll be a successful move higher, creating new support out of old resistance, and a swing trade opportunity. There in the midst of, like, it'll involve us rotating sideways along support. It looks like I left out a mark here, so let me take a look real quick. okay, and then there's failure on there too. So one of the trades there will form. It'll involve a sharp decline through multiple supports. All right, and then the following day we have a prominent higher crest for the month. My sense is that this is most likely to be the high for the month here. On the 9th, there's some trickery going on here. I'm not sure about this, but the 9th is very likely the high for the month. On the 10th, we have okay, so there's a gap down on the 8th. In the morning, we open down, move higher. That rally continues on the 9th. We have a crest and a prominent high there, most likely the month's high, and then the following day we have a prominent trough or low that forms in the midst of sideways price swings with a bullish trend, and another swing trade opportunity there involving sideways rotation along support level. On the 11th, we have the completion of a bullish trend as like the behavior of like that one-day chart. There's a rally early in the day. Okay, so there's a rally that starts early in the day on the 11th. Swing trade opportunity involving sideways rotation along support. This may be the same price level if we're still near the, like, this could end up being, but maybe not. On the 12th, we have another prominent higher crest. My sense is that this is probably the same high or the same price level as the 9th. We move out from being like lower, we move higher, like we open lower and move higher. There's one local low that forms, and it involves an agreement between two leaders. That'll be the highlight. And then on the 13th, a range is highlighted. We may be range bound on a one-day chart, or we may hit the top of the range or the bottom of the range. Okay, so we have two local highs on the 13th. One that forms when we have a period of sideways rotation and a sharp dip within that period. The other one forms, it'll be a prominent reversal on a one-day chart. And there's also a correlation here to a full move from the bottom of the range to the top of the range, starting out of a decline. However, we have a notable decline here. Looks like overnight we may gap down here. There's a big move, so likely we may even hit the top of a range and then gap down, like the very top of a range on the 13th, and then gap down on the 14th. We have a prominent low or prominent trough for the month. We have one local low that involves an agreement between two leaders, and there's two swing trade opportunities or one trade. And they left that one out too. Wow. Or one day trade, I should say. I'm just looking for which correlation it is. It's a failure correlation again. I left this out for a reason. Interesting. Like everything happens for a reason, my friends. Yeah, so there's a notable decline in there, guys. Majority of the behavior on the 15th is bumping up, moving sideways, bumping up along a resistance. I I am advised to open up some protection there towards the end of the day. There's one local low where we hit resistance and then fall with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. And those spikes up generally they'll meet resistance at moving averages. On the 16th, we have the completion of a rally marked by a fast sudden move higher and then a breakdown through a diagonal trend line with increasing volatility as we move further down. That's crossed with the theme card, a full move from bottom of the range to the top of the range. So we may see that first and then marked with a big move at the end of the breakdown. There's one local high. On a one-day chart, it'll be a prominent reversal. On the 17th, we have one local low, and we have a correlation to the disappointment card. So we have a failed attempt to break through a resistance level that maybe we're expecting to break through, and then that turns into a decline that meets resistance, or excuse me, meets support, bounces along sideways on support, and then breaks down through multiple supports to reach the low. The low will form within a period of erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level. On the 18th, we have multiple breakdown through multiple support levels. One local low that forms, and it involves an agreement between two leaders. There's one swing trade opportunity there that involves sideways rotation along a support level. On the 19th, we have volatility that increases with volatility as we move forward in time, and then on the 20th, we have a swing trade opportunity when we fail to break through key resistance and we decline through support, and it looks like that key resistance is likely towards the end of the day is likely another month's high or prominent trough. It's not the highest high, but it's a prominent a prominent crest or high. On the 21st, we attempt to establish support, and then on the 22nd, we have another prominent trough, and this is most likely the month's low. This is most likely the month's low. This something with that agreement between two leaders really had an impact, and we have two local highs and a swing trade, two swing trade opportunities or a day trade opportunity here. Must be the failure card again. I left it out. Five of Swords, defeat. Oh, it's in there. It just looks red. It just looks red because of the... No? Why is it red? Interesting. That's really standing out to me now because mistakes like that happen for a reason, my friends. So this is a volatile day, the 22nd. There's a most likely the month's low here. It's an opportunity position in both directions. If you can do that with Cardano, I don't know. And then the trade opportunities take place when we have a sharp decline in a period of some maybe bearish price swings, but there's a notable drop there. And then another one when we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance and then we decline through key support. The two local highs that take place there, one takes place when we're moving sideways along support, rotating sideways, and then we have a sharp dip out of that high. And then another one forms when we have profit taking from near overbought territory. On the 23rd, we have a move higher through resistance. We stay above it briefly and then break back down through the same price level. On the 24th, we have one local low. Takes place when there's a big move to a distant resistance level, and the local low forms when we have a move to hit a resistance level, and then we break down with consecutively lower spikes on the way down. Usually those spikes will meet moving averages as resistance. So two things going on there, but that's on a one-day chart. That's strike behavior, and a big move higher to reach distant resistance level on a 1 month chart. On the 25th, we have a swing trade opportunity when we're rotating sideways along a support level. We have one local high that forms one local low that forms involving agreement between two leaders, and there's multiple failed attempts to break through a key resistance level on the 25th. On the 26th, we have one local high. It forms in a period of sideways rotation when we have a sharp dip out of the high. And there's sideways fluidity, equal amounts of bulls and bears throughout the day, moving sideways along support. On the 27th, we have a breakout. There's one local low that forms in a period of. It forms when we meet a resistance level and drop with consecutively lower spikes down. Those spikes meet moving averages as resistance. And that's where the local low for the day of the 27th will form. We have a cash out opportunity here in the midst of some volatility. There's a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of a period of volatility here on the 28th. One local low involving an agreement between two partners, and one trade opportunity involving rotation moving sideways along support. And the other one involving a decline through multiple support levels. There's some sort of protection advised here towards the end of the day, and it looks like we drop through. We drop after hitting a resistance level. We drop pretty sharply through a price level overnight, and meet another month's low. These two lows here on the 22nd and the 29th are most likely the month's lowest lows, most likely, but there'll be prominent troughs and prominent lows for the month. There's two local highs and one local low. So the local highs form. One forms when we have near overbought territory on we're near overbought, and people start taking profits. And the other local high forms when we're moving sideways in rotation, and there's a sharp dip out of that high. The local low forms after dropping from a price level that we don't revisit within that day. On the 30th, Congress is highlighted. There's a day trade opportunity in there as well. Failure again. So there's a decline through multiple support levels involved in one of the day trades or swing trade here. And then the other one involves sideways rotation along support. And on the 31st, we have two local highs, one that forms when we're moving sideways along support, and then there's a sharp dip out of the high. The other one will be a prominent reversal on a one-day chart. And there's also a correlation to a full move from the bottom of the range to the top of the range that starts out of a decline. And that's the 31st, guys. Or that's Cardano for August 2022. If you want to see more Cardano, let me know by hitting that like button. Do me a favor and pay us back by hitting that share button and that subscribe button. But most importantly, that share button. And then when you make money, pay it forward, my friends. With that said, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.